Hi everyone, I'm back and today I'm going to show you all how to make chicken and dumplings. Not just any old dumplings, guys. I'm going to show you how to make Gina's chicken and dumplings. Here's what you will need. You will need chicken. Now I'm using chicken thighs. Feel free to use whatever piece of the chicken that you would like to use. If you want to use legs, if you want to use wings, the breast, whatever you want to use is just fine. Now, I have chicken thighs. Now, some of the thighs I have taken the skin off. Some of the thighs I've kept the skin on. All right? These are the dumplings that I like to use. These are a frozen home style. It's called reames. I live for these dumplings, guys. Give these dumplings a try and you will never ever slave in the kitchen to make homemade dumplings ever again as long as you try these. Trust me when I tell you this. All right, you will need 2 cans of cream of chicken. You will need carrots. I have 3 stalks of celery. I have 1 large onion. 1 large garlic clove chopped, salt and pepper, Maggie pollo, parsley flakes, onion powder, garlic powder, and black pepper if I didn't say so. All right, now, over here I have a pot. I'm going to turn this pot on to medium high. The first thing that I want to do, I've cleaned my chicken with salt, water, and vinegar today and rinsed it well. First thing that I want to do is I want to put my chicken into the water. We're going to bring this water up to a boil. And what we're trying to do, we are going to make a beautiful chicken broth. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you put your chicken in, and you need the bones of the chicken and the skin of the chicken and the chicken meat in order to make a beautiful stock. So we're going to put these in there. All right, and then we're going to season this up and we're just going to let it boil until the chicken is done. Once the chicken is done, you're going to have one beautiful chicken broth. Now, let me wash my hands. Anytime you are dealing with poultry or any other raw meats, you want to wash your hands because you do not want to transfer salmonella or E. coli, all right? And those are bacteria that you can get when you deal with raw meats. So you always wash your hands. All right, let me dry my hands. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to pour a little bit of this water off. Give me 1 second, guys. See how that water raised a little bit once I put the meat in? Beautiful. Okay, so now let's go ahead and season our broth up. I'm going to use half of this. I'm not going to use all of it. All right, just about half. I'm going to use half of the onion. This is going to give us a beautiful chicken broth flavor. All right, let me get this 1 large garlic clove. Put it in just like so. All right. I can remember, let's come over here this way. I can remember my grandmom making chicken and dumplings. And now what she liked to use, hold on, let me reach for these, is she would use the Bisquick mix and make her dumplings. I've done that before. When I want to make this is parsley that I'm putting in, guys. Just a little bit. When I want to make one of the dumplings that are real fluffy and big and round, I will use Pillsbury biscuit dough. This is black pepper. This is onion powder. This is garlic powder. All right. Here's some Maggie pollo. All right, and remember, this is just like chicken broth, only a bumped up, not chicken broth. This is just like chicken bouillon, only it's a little bit more bumped up flavor. So if you don't have Maggie pollo, you can use about 4 chicken bouillon cubes, all right? We're going to put A little bit of salt in, not too much. That's enough. All right, and then we just let this come to a boil. Let our chicken get nice and well done, and we'll come out with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chicken broth. All right, once that's done, I'll show you what we're gonna do next. But what I was saying was, when you want that big, fluffy, soft dumpling, what I normally do is I will use the Pillsbury biscuit dough, and you know how you kind of hit it on the thing and it pops open? When you take one biscuit out, and what you do is it's circle like this. You just cut it into fours, and then when you're ready to put your dumplings in, you just kind of toss them in, and they create one beautiful, huge, fluffy dumplings. But we're not going to do that today. Today I'm going to use these home style flat dumplings, and these are the most tasty things you have ever tried. Now, if you all have never seen my video for homemade chicken and noodles, check that video out, and you'll see that I use the reames noodles. And I'm telling you all, I swear by these dumplings and their noodles. This name brand here has really got something going on. They really got me hooked. Especially I don't have to slave in the kitchen and make my own dumplings. So that's always a plus. I'm going to mix the spices and the chicken around just like so. Alright. Let this come to the boil, and I'll be right back once this gets done, and then I'll let you know our next step. Be right back. Okay everyone, I'm back. I just want to chime in on this beautiful chicken broth and show you what it's looking like. The chicken is starting to cook. See that? Chicken is starting to get done, and the flavors are being extracted from our vegetables. And remember, we have seasonings in here. So we're just going to let them keep going. They've been cooking. This has been cooking for just about 25 minutes. All right. When this is done, I'll be right back, everybody. Okay, everyone, I'm back. And now the chicken is done. This is cooked for 45 minutes. The chicken thighs are nice and well done. And we have such a beautiful chicken broth. Look at this. If you ever have wondered, how do you make a beautiful chicken broth? This is how you do it. And what you would do is, of course, you would take your chicken out like I'm getting ready to do, and you would take the veggies out, and then you would strain it. Now, you might get some frothiness here on the top from the fat and the protein of the chicken, and you just come across just like this and skim it off and get rid of what you don't want, okay? And just toss it into a bowl, okay? Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my spoon just like so, and the oil, you can tell the oil from the broth. I'm going to get rid of the oil just like this. All right, and it's going to leave me with the beautiful broth. I'm going to keep skimming until I get this, you know, the foaminess off the top and the unwanted oil that I don't want. I'm going to keep skimming until I get that nice and clear. I'll be left with beautiful clear chicken broth. Let's go ahead and take these pieces of chicken out. All right. Get a pan, and I'm going to put my chicken right in this pan because I'm going to let the chicken cool down. And once it cools down, what I need to do is I need to take the skin off and shred the chicken. Take the bone out, and I'm going to take 2 forks. And so if this was 2 forks, you just take this motion like this, and you do like this across your chicken, and it'll shred that chicken up for you. And that's what I'm going to do once this cools down. All right, but it has to cool down because I don't want to burn my fingertips, y'all. All right. I'm so glad that I got my camera back and I'm back in this kitchen cooking. I missed you all so much. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I love you all so much. I really do. You all are like family to me. I appreciate you all. And you know, I can't say it enough. I know I've said it enough in my speeches, but I appreciate you all. And I appreciate you all who have watched and who has subscribed. But I just thought I should tell you guys that I feel like you all are family. I have so much fun with the messages. Now, there are some people that like to give me really bad messages. And when they do that, hey, I don't even sweat it. I just say, God bless you. And I mute them so that they can't comment anymore. And it's just fine. But it's crazy because you all will not believe some of the comments that I get that is just so mean. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. I just mute them and hey, I don't have to deal with them anymore. See this here? Chicken broth 101. If you never made it, make you some. And make sure, like I said, you take the time to skim that oil off just like this. It's not hard at all. And then you'll start seeing that you'll end up with a beautiful broth with no oil in it. And yet so tasty. Remember, we put those spices in here, and those spices will really bump up the flavor of this broth. Now see, these onions and celery that I put in earlier, they will basically disintegrate into flavorland. And then those onions and celery that I have there, we're going to put those into our chicken and dumplings towards the end, so that you can taste it and you'll have that texture. Because like I said, these ones are going to mush up and they'll just be flavor. Alright, so I'm going to continue to skim off the oil and the froth off of the top. And then I'll show you how I'm going to shred the chicken, and then I'll show you the next step. Be right back. Okay everybody, so take a look at my broth. Now see this is just a celery stalk I had sitting, but I just put it in there. I'm going to take it out. I just put it in there for more flavor, okay? But now let's come over here and I'm going to show you how to shred the chicken. The chicken has cooled down, alright? If you hear noise in the background, that's my son outside. I have my windows open because it's so nice outside. That's my son outside and he's trimming the bushes for me. And so you're going to hear a little bit of noise, and I apologize for that. Alright, here's what you're going to do. This is one of them that doesn't have the skin. So I'm just going to, you know, do this way. This motion. Take one fork and pull that way. Take the other fork and pull the other way. And just get that right off of there. Okay? And kind of shred it along the way as it comes off the bone. Okay? And you know, that's very simple. A lot of times when I make this dish, when I get to this part, I tell the kids, hey, wash your hands. Come on and help me pull this meat off the bones. And they do. No problem there. Alright, just like this. Alright, get that meat off of there. This is how I do it. Alright. Now, I have made chicken and dumplings and chicken soup with chicken breast also. A lot of people that don't like the dark meat, they prefer the white meat. It's just fine to use chicken breast also. And you know how chicken breast tends to get a little bit dry. Well, you don't have to worry about that in chicken and dumplings because it doesn't dry up because it's in so much broth, and you know, you got that cream of chicken and everything. It doesn't dry out, so you don't have to worry about that. So here's how we do. This is the one that did not have skin on it. Alright, let's push this aside. Now this is the one over here. See how easily that shredded up? We're going to have a lot of chicken in mine, guys. This one has the skin, and see how easily the skin pulls off? That's it, no problem. Just like that. Anything I make in this kitchen is always easy. So simple and yet so tasty, guys. I'm gonna really take you home. I'm gonna really take you all back to childhood with this recipe. This recipe is just so flavorful. So, what's the word that I'm looking for? So delicious. And it's the kind of meal that you want for a Saturday or a Sunday. It is Saturday today. And the game will be playing. And we're going to have chicken and dumplings. No wings here tonight for game day. We're doing chicken and dumplings. I'm going to take a few people some of this chicken and dumplings to work tomorrow. I do work tomorrow. Look at this. See how easily it comes off? I'm going to continue. I used a whole pack of chicken thighs. So let's see, it was there was 9 pieces of chicken. And I'm going to use every bit of them. Put all that meat in there, and I'm going to have some chicken and dumplings. It's going to be so meaty. I hate to have chicken and noodles or chicken and dumplings and it doesn't have enough meat in it. You got to kind of scavenger around for it. Nope, not this one, guys. With every bite, you're going to get a piece of meat. You hear me? All right, I'm going to continue to do this. All right, I'll be back as soon as I get everything shredded up, and then I'll show you our next step. Be right back. Okay, everyone, here's what our shredded chicken looks like. Just like that. Now, over here to our broth. Now, what I did when I had the video on pause, I tasted the broth, and I thought it needed a little bit more seasoning. So I put garlic powder, I put onion powder, black pepper, and a little bit more Maggie pollo in there. All right, so now what we want to do at this point is go ahead and put our chicken back in, and the temperature of this chicken broth will go down because this chicken is, cooled down. So you want to make sure you turn this back up onto a medium high to bring this back up to temperature. All right, get that in there and get it nice and warm. Okay. Stir that around just like so. Isn't that color of this broth so beautiful? And what helps to add the color is the Maggie pollo. It helps to give such a beautiful yellow color that I absolutely love. So now what we're going to do, I'm turning that up to medium high. We're going to go ahead and put our celery in, our rest of the celery. I might not put it all in. I'm not really a fan of celery. But, I mean, definitely I'll eat it. I don't hate it. But it gives so much flavor to chicken noodle soup and chicken and dumplings. It's like a staple. You put celery, carrots, and onions in your dumplings. All right? So let's go ahead and put about that much in. All right? And remember the celery and onions that we put in earlier, that just disintegrated into Flavorland. Now this here, you'll actually be able to bite down into it. All right, and it'll serve as a texture in our chicken and dumplings. We put the onions in just like so. All right, and now what we're going to do at this point, we're going to let this come back up to temperature, and then we are going to put our beautiful reames flat dumplings in. I'm going to show you how to put those in. I'll be right back. Okay, so now what I want to do, this is coming back up to temperature, and what I want to do, I put a little bit more onions in there. I wanted more onions in mine. And I put the rest of the celery in. You want to let these onions and celery cook for about 15 minutes. Before you put anything else in, okay? Because once we put these dumplings in, everything's going to happen so fast and it'll be done just in an instant, all right? So we'll let these cook for 15 minutes. Now, as far as these, I'm going to put these in towards the very end because nobody wants mushy carrots, okay? I like my carrots to have some texture. Now, if you wanted to, and I'm so upset, yesterday, we had dinner, and I had peas with my dinner, frozen peas. And so I wanted to put peas in here. If you want to put peas in when you put your carrots in towards the very end. And make sure you do not use canned peas, okay? Because they would get too soft. You always want to use frozen, you know, frozen peas out of the bag. All right, so these are going to cook for 15 minutes to get the onions and celery nice and soft. Then we'll put our dumplings in, and I'll show you what we're going to do with the cream of chicken. Be right back, everybody, and make sure you stay tuned for sure, because at the end of this video I'm going to do a mukbang, and if you all don't know what a mukbang is, it's where I taste the food and you all get to see me eating the food at my kitchen table, and I'll talk about different subjects and talk about the food. Be right back. Excuse me. Okay, everyone, so what you can see that the onions are nice and translucent, and that's what we're looking for. Translucent is where the onion starts to get clear. It doesn't look as white, it looks clear. All right, what we're gonna do is go ahead and grill. Let me get a knife so I can open this. We'll throw our dumplings in, and when you put them in, you want to stir, okay? And here's what they look like: flat dumplings, homemade flat dumplings, just like this. That's the kind that I like, guys. I live for this kind. And it's so simple. You ain't got to worry about making the dough, rolling the dough and cutting it and letting it dry. This right here, I promise you, you'll love this. All right, so put them in and you kind of stir. All right, let me open this one. And I always use 2 bags. I'm gonna feed 4 of us today, and I'm gonna take some to work, so it gives you plenty. It really does. And 2 bags does it for me. 2 bags is perfect. And they're 12 ounces each bag. All right, make sure when you put them in there, you stir around, okay? I still have this on a medium high. Stir them around so they don't stick together, okay? I mean, it's not a worry, but you just want to stir it so they don't stick. All right, here in a few minutes, we're going to put 2 cans of cream of chicken into our broth, because I like a creamy broth. Some people like the clear broth like this, and it's just fine. But this right here gives you that extra power-packed flavor, if that makes any sense. But I always do. And if I don't use the chicken, cream of chicken, I will use cream of mushroom. Same difference. All right, and as you can see, some of the dumplings are starting to float, and you'll see that they'll get nice and thick, a little bit thicker than what they are. Okay, we'll let this go for a few minutes. And then before we put our cream of chicken in, we will add these beautiful carrots. And these were just a bag of carrots. I like the crinkle cut kind because I like the way they look. All right, and you can find those in the freezer section. All right, be right back, everyone. Here in about maybe 8 minutes, when the dumplings are almost done, we'll put our cream of chicken in and our carrots. Be right back. Okay, everyone, now it's time. Our dumplings are nice and fluffy. Look at this, guys. And like I said, feel free to eat it this way without the cream of chicken. But I can't do it, guys. I love my cream of chicken or cream of mushroom in this. Okay, so I put the whole bag of carrots in there. Oh yeah, look at this, guys. This right here is making my mouth water. I am so excited. Now, I don't know if I told you guys that I needed to re-season the broth, and I did just that. I put more onion and garlic and Maggie pollo. I believe I told you, but just in case I didn't. All right, and now we go in with the cream of chicken. Okay, sorry about that. My phone just started to ring, and it put my video on pause. If you all didn't hear me, I was just talking about putting this cream of chicken in. All right, just like this. 2 cans. Now this will be done in 10 minutes, hey, this is done and you're ready to eat. You can make your broth ahead of time if you wanted to, if you're going to have company and you plan on, you know, like making this for your company. You make your broth ahead of time. Go ahead and boil that chicken the day before or the night, you know, that night before. Get your chicken shredded up. Like I said, have the kids shred your chicken and do the onions and celery part. And then right before they come, all you have to do is throw your dumplings in, your carrots and your cream of chicken, and you are set. You hear me? All right, let's give this 10 minutes. I will put the video on pause. I'll come back and then I'll sit at the table and we'll chit chat a little bit and I'll let you all know what this tastes like. Be right back, everybody. Okay, everyone, I'm back and the chicken and dumpling is done. Look at this. Isn't this one beautiful dish? It's so beautiful. Oh, look at all that chicken. Look at all that chicken, guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, see this? See those dumplings in there? Oh yeah. And like I said, hey, feel free to use the Pillsbury biscuit dough, the kind that circles. You just cut it into 4 and throw it in here if you want those real big fluffy ones. Okay, that's what I do when I want those kind, but this is the kind that I wanted today. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna make this plate. You guys are gonna meet me at my table and we'll give this a taste. Okay, everybody, let's give this a try. God bless this food and thank you for feeding me a meal every day. Amen. I'm so excited. I don't know when's the last time I had chicken and dumplings, but we're going to eat some today, guys. And you guys are going to make this recipe. And I want you all to let me know what you think about this recipe. This recipe, I got the big Band-Aid on my arm. You know, of course, I burnt myself and I burnt my hand. But hey, I'm really cooking in this kitchen. It's going to happen. As long as my food is good, hey, okay. All right, first thing I want to do, I wish I had a glass bowl. I had a glass bowl this size and my little one broke it when he was doing dishes. Okay, so first thing I want to do, I want to go in and taste this broth. It's hot. Here's the thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. I could drink this broth all day long. It is so good. I don't need nothing else but this broth. It is so flavorful. Oh my gosh. One more time. One more time. It's so good, guys. I promise you. It kind of makes me so excited. It's so good. One more time with the broth. You make this chicken broth for your family and your loved ones and your friends when they're sick. Oh, it'll pick them up. It'll help them to feel better. I promise you. Now let's go in with this dumpling. Look at this dumpling. So much flavor. You hear me? Now, let me get some of that meat and the carrots, guys. Oh my goodness. You know what? You know when something's good when you can't wait to eat it later. It's so good. I can't wait to eat it later. And I'm going to do just that. When I get hungry tonight, oh, I'm getting me some more of this. That's so good. And this meat is so tender. Mmm. Beautiful. Look at this big chunk of meat. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Boy, is this good, I'm telling you. You never tried this? You never tried this recipe? Hey, make you some. You will enjoy it. I'm gonna give you guys a bite. I might make a mess on my table, but I'll just have to clean it up. Oh! Hold on, guys. I gotta let you taste this. For sure. I know you want a big piece of meat right there and a carrot. Here we go, guys. Take this bite right there. Take that bite right there, guys. All yours. Look at that. Look at that dumpling in there. Mmm. Ooh. Mmm. The meat so tender. And the dumpling. Yes. Mmm. The game should be coming on here in about, I don't know what time. I think it comes on at 8. But my dinner is done right on time so that they can enjoy chicken and dumplings and enjoy the game and sit back and relax. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Seriously. Follow this recipe. Just like I made this. Follow this recipe. You will love me for it. Your family will love you for it. And even, remember I told you guys I'm not a fan of the celery? But guess what? It's so good in here. Mmm. Mm-hmm. The broth. That flavor is so prevalent and so delicious. Like I said, I can drink this, guys. Mmm. 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 And I have so much chicken in here. That's what I love. Like I said, you can put as much chicken as you want in there. My grandma, she would use a whole cut up chicken. Hey, she put the 2 wings in there. She put the thighs. And she put the legs and the breast in there. And she'd make her chicken broth. And like I told you, she used a Bisquick mix. And then she would just throw, you know, ball it up. She'd just throw it in there. And she had the big fluffy kind. Mmm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that's good. Mmm. We did something funny the other day. I gotta get another bite of this, guys. It's so tasty. Hold on. Mmm. Mm-hmm. This right here, this is what you want when you think chicken and dumplings. Oh, but getting back to this. We did something funny the other day at work. So we were all talking about what are your fears. And you all can comment in the description below what your fears are. And so it was so fun and so funny to go around talking to different people and finding out what their fears are, because these are like, and it might be funny to us because it is. And people even think my fears are so funny, but it's real. But so I asked a few people, and one of the ladies at my job, she said, I said, what is your fear? And she looked at me. I said, or even a fear that you had when you was little. What was you ever like afraid of? What was your biggest fear? And she looks at me and she says, and I said, what? And she was like, the big white buffalo. I'm like, what? It was so funny. And we all laughed. Let me get another bite of this, guys. Mmm. So good. And these carrots are perfect. As long as you put these carrots in at the very end, they will not get smushy. And put you some peas in there if you want to. Make sure they're fresh, but put them in at the very end. But I told them that my fear was mice. I told them, guys, I'm like, mice just does me in. You hear me? I cannot do mice. I am so afraid. Just the thought of a mice makes me want to like literally pass out. Like seriously, like mice is just too much for me. Too much for me to handle. Just the thought of it. And somebody went like this with their fingers, and they was like, it's only this big. But just them doing that, like I can picture the mouse body. It like really freaked me out. But they were laughing at me. And so somebody else, they said, and you can see the fear when people talk about like their fears. You can see the fear when they're talking about it. But somebody else has said, clowns does me in. They was like, if I seen a clown right now, I'll be running down. I was laughing so hard. And somebody else said like, they're afraid of being hit by lightning. It's so funny. I had a ball. I'll have to do that again and go to other different people and ask them, like, what is your fear? Because it's such a funny subject, and it's fun to talk about it. But I asked my husband, so on the way home that day, I told him what we were doing at work. It's so good, guys. It's so good. Let me get some of this broth. So I asked my husband, I'm like, so I don't really know like what your fear is. And he's like, you know what it is. I'm like, what? I really don't. He's like, roller coasters, you know, I'm afraid. And I knew it. I knew it, guys, because he's so scared of roller coasters. It makes me laugh, but it is a fear. But I want you all to comment in the section below, in the description below, what your fear is. That'll be a funny topic, funny messages that I can read. I'm going to give you guys one more taste, and then I'm out of here. Because I got to work tomorrow. I'm going to try to get into bed early, get me some rest. Look at this big piece of chicken. I got chicken all up in here, right? Let me give you this. Here we go, guys. Take that bite right there. Right there, right there. All yours. Boy, this is good. I'm going to get off of here, guys. I'm going to make my family's plate. Get ready for work tomorrow. I want you all to have a blessed Sunday and a good Saturday night. And as always, God bless. Have a great night. And thank you all for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't, what was I going to say, guys? I just lost my train of thought, but it's okay. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you press that notification bell so that you can receive a notification every time I upload one of these awesome videos. God bless. Have a great night. Thank you all for watching. Good night.